Photoshop CS6 added an impressive new filter, Filter Oil Paint, added in Photoshop CS6. I'll hit Command plus or Control plus a few times to zoom in, and you can really see the texture and the detail produced automatically by this oil paint filter. In fact, it would take me quite a long time with the mixer brush to achieve this result. You can experiment with stylization, and whenever I'm learning a new filter, I always tend to move the dial very far in one direction to see the effects, and then very far in the opposite direction. You could try cleanliness. Oh, if that only worked on my desk. That cleaned it up quite a bit. You can adjust the scale, bristle detail, and even control lighting effects. And I'm going to leave it, I think, with a larger scale on the brush strokes, the cleanliness of about 1, and I think I like a lower stylization. So I will click OK. And now if I zoom in with Command plus or Control plus, I've converted this to an oil painting. Now one side note, if I undo that to make this filter editable, I would start with Filter, Convert for Smart Filters, and click OK to the warning. And I always like to name my layer, so I'll call this Family. Then I'll run Filter Oil Paint. This way, if you run your proof and you decide you don't like the settings that you landed on, I could come in and play with stylization again, cleanliness, scale, and maybe even experiment with shine and angular direction. Be patient with this. If you don't have a lot of RAM or video RAM, it may be a little bit slow, but don't give up. There's a little progress bar in the lower left corner. On my machine, I have 512 megabytes of VRAM dedicated and 8 gigabytes of operating system or computer's RAM. So when I click OK now, in the Layers panel, I should see the oil paint filter, and I could double-click on that at a later date to edit its settings. So there you have it. If I don't like where it ended up, if I zoom in a little bit, I can simply double-click, and I'm back to my oil paint settings. I always encourage running Filter, Convert for Smart Filters for anything that is editable or that you may decide to change later. So that is my tour of the new Photoshop CS6 Filter Oil Paint. And I hit Command 0 or Control 0 to fit in window. Give this a try on one of your own family photographs.